Hi guys, welcome to Code Debugger. In this video we are going to implement Spring Batch in Spring Boot application. So what is Spring Batch? So Spring Batch is a module provided by Spring Framework for robust batch processing system. Spring Batch provides reusable functions. By using that we can process large volume of record. So how Spring Batch works? So basically in Spring Batch there are three components are there. One is job launcher, then job, and another one is steps. So job launcher will start the job, then job will start the different steps. Then step will have again three subcomponents like item reader, item processor, and item writer. So item reader will basically do the read operation, item processor will do processing in between the read and write, then item writer will write the data. Okay, so let's start with our example. In our example we will have two different tables like transaction table and history table. So in transaction table we will insert the data into the transaction table. Let's say more number of data will be there. Then whenever we will start the batch, it will read the data from the transaction table, it will insert the data into the history table, and after inserting the data into history table, those data, whatever data we have moved from transaction table to history table, those data should be deleted from the transaction table. So let's see how to implement these using Spring Batch application.
Press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss any update from the Code Debugger.
So let's start with as usual with Spring Initializer. Here we will select Maven project, Java language, Spring Boot version as 2.3.3, group ID is com.batch.example, artifact will be Spring Batch example. So packaging as jar, Java version as 8, then we need to add dependency like web, then batch, then we need to add JPA, then MySQL, then Lombok. Okay, so these are the 5 dependencies we need to add: web, batch, JPA, MySQL driver, and Lombok. Let's generate the project. Let's import that into IntelliJ. Maven structure is ready now. Let me go to the application.yml file. So for MySQL, I am having the live template. So I will insert the live template here. Okay. Plus here we need to add two more the batch related properties. Batch. Inside batch we need to add the initialize the schema. Then it will be like always. Then we need to write like job enable is equal to false. By default it is true. Whenever we will start the application it will trigger. If you are not making that as false, we will trigger that manually. That's why I am configuring here false. Okay, so let's create the model class first. We will create contract and contract history. So contract will have contract ID, then contract holder name, then the duration of the contract, then the amount of the contract, then the contract creation date, then the status. Okay, so let me annotate this with @entity, @setters, @getters, @ID you need to annotate. I will generate the UUID for this. I am having the live template. Okay, so let's copy the same and we'll have another table also with contract history. So contract history also having the same attributes. Okay, so now what we will do, if you see as per our diagram, we need to write first reader, then processor, then writer, right? Then we will write the step, then we will write the job, then job launcher will give the job and will start the job. Okay, so let's start with the item reader. So let me write here the configuration package. Okay, inside this item reader will be there. So inside item reader what we will do, we will make this as configuration. First we need to expose a bean as a item reader. Okay, for item reader we need to give contract. Here we need to pass the data source. So let me annotate this with bean. So what we will do now, we'll use the JDBC pagination item reader to read the data in pagination manner. Okay. So now what we need to do? So we need to set the data source first. So data source will be whatever we are passing as a input, that will be the data source. Then I want to read every time 1000 record. We can configure this value in properties file and we can read that also. For now I am doing the hard coding here. So then what we need to do? We need to query the data from the database, right? So let me write another method, paging query provider, then create query. So you are using the MySQL database, right? So there is a class called MySQL paging query provider. So query provider dot set select clause. So I will write here. So select star we need to give here. Then we need to write the form clause. Okay. So query provider dot set form clause. So here you need to add the from where we will read the data. From contract. If you see in contract, we have a creation date. Those dates should be in ascending order. So let's see how we can do that here. So let me write another method also so that you will understand very clearly. Okay. So creation date, comma, the order will be ascending. So here what you need to add in the query provider dot set sort keys. Okay. So after that what we need to do? A JDBC paging item reader dot set query provider. Okay. Then after that what you need to do? You need to give the mapper, row mapper for that. Okay. JDBC paging item reader dot set row mapper. So here you need to pass a bean property row mapper. That's it. And we need to return the JDBC item reader. So that's it in item reader. Okay. So let's create item writer also. Okay. So let me annotate this with @ configuration. We need to expose a bean of item writer, right? Here we need to pass the contract history. Named parameter JDBC template will pass here. Okay. Here what you need to do? We need to expose this as a bean. The JDBC batch item writer. You need to write. Okay. So after that we need to set some query and all. So let me set the query. So item writer dot set SQL query. Final string, let's say insert query. So after that we need to set a item SQL parameter. This is the default. We need to set a new item parameter. Then you need to set a JDBC template for that. Item reader dot set JDBC template. Of whatever named JDBC template we are getting, that JDBC template will pass here. Then item reader dot set asset update. Then we need to return the item reader. So let me write the query here. So what we need to do, whenever we'll move the data from the contract to contract history, then also we need to remove the data from the contract table, right? Whatever data we have moved, those data we need to remove. That means let me write one delete query for that. Okay. But now what we need to do, we need to call this inside the write method of the item writer, right? Whenever it will write the data into the database, after that only we'll do, right? So for that, we need to create an implementation class of this, right? What we'll do here, we'll create an implementation class here. Yeah, this write method we need to override. So inside this write method, whenever the item write is completed, what we will do, we'll log the data at the rate log. Let me use the at the rate SL4J here. Log dot, let's say info, I will write here. Okay. So after that, I will delete the data. So writer is also completed. Now let me write the processor now. So inside the processor, what I need to do, I need to annotate this at the rate configuration. So we need to expose a bin of item processor. Okay. If you see in item reader, we are exposing a bin as item reader. In item writer, we are exposing a bin as item writer. And in item processor, you need to expose a bin as item processor. Of here, you need to pass the contract and contract history. So here what we will do, we will transform the data from contract to contract history. Okay. If you see, item processor is an interface and we need to override the method of process. Okay. Then what I will do, let me write a count here, counter here. So how much data it processed, it will show. Okay. We need to return the contract history, right? So what I will do here, object mapper I will use to read the data from the contract, and I will write the data into the contract history. Okay, so what we need to do now, we need to return this contract history here, or else we can copy this one and we can paste here directly. We can return instead of writing 2 lines. So that's it in processor. So we need to write a configuration. As I said, after creating these 3, we need to create the steps and job. Okay. So let me write a batch configuration. After that, we will set up both steps and job. So this class you need to annotate at the right configuration. Then this batch configurer should be extended from default batch configurer. Okay. So here what we need to do, we need to expose 2 bins, like one is job, one is step. So let me expose the step first. This you need to expose as a bin. So inside this step, what you need to pass, the step builder factory you need to pass. Then we need to pass item reader. Then we need to pass the item processor. As I said, like steps will have 3 different components, right? Item reader, item processor, and item writer, right? Then item writer. So these are the 4 things you need to pass. Now what we need to do, by using step builder factory, we will create a step. Okay. So that's it. The step is completed now. In steps, what we are giving, the reader, processor, and writer. Okay. So now we need to expose a bin of job. So in job, we need to pass the job builder factory. And then, as I said, like we need to give the steps to the job, because job will start the steps, right? So let's say step. let's say we need to give some name here. So let me give the name as contract effective. Then new incrementer will give like new run incrementer. After that we need to start the job. Inside that we need to give the step. Then we need to build this one. That's it. Let me annotate this at the bean. Job is also done. Steps is also done. In steps you have configured item reader, processor writer. Then this step we have given to job. This job now we will give to job launcher. So job launcher will start the job, right? So what we need to do now, we need to insert some dummy data into the contract table. Then we need to start the job by using Spring Batch. Let me write repository class to insert the dummy data. Let's say extends from JPA repository. Yeah, repository also completed. So let me create the controller also. I will write two different methods, like one is insert the data and another will start the batch. So let me write first the insert the data. So for insert the data we need the repository class. Let me inject the repository here, the contract repository. So that's it, we have completed the save operation. Now let me write the starting the batch operation. So this batch will start like at the get mapping will give. Then in get mapping we need to give slash start hyphen batch. So as I said, like we need the job launcher to start the job. Let me inject here the job launcher. So job launcher will start the job. Say job launcher dot run. You see here in run the job needed and job parameters also needed. We need to give the job, right? So job also you need to inject. So let me inject the job. So this job will pass here, and here we need to pass one parameter, but that parameter should be unique. Let me create the job parameter first. And here I will add like a time, and in time I will pass like current millisecond. Okay, then dot to parameter. So here we will pass that job parameter. So let's start the application and we'll see whether we are able to do the batch operation or not. The application is getting up. So we are getting some error message. So we need to annotate this with at the rate batch processing. Yeah, application started now. So let me hit the insert endpoint first. We'll insert some data, 10,000 record into the database, and after that I will start the batch. Okay, so let me insert some data. We are able to insert into the database. 10,000 record is getting inserted into the database. Yeah, record inserted successfully in database. Let me check in the database first. Yeah, there are few tables automatically get created by if you are using any batch operation. So batch related transaction information it will store here. The Spring will internally store all the batch related information here. So let me see the contract table first. So if you see here, there are some records like 10,000 records are there in contract table, but the contract history table is empty now. Okay. Yeah, batch started. Column name does not match. Let me check here. What is the column name? Contract on. Yeah, holder underscore name you need to write. Let me restart the server and we will check again. Yeah, application started now. So let me hit the database to insert the data. If you see here, data is getting inserted here. Yeah, 10,000 record completed. And in our DB, In contract table we are having the records. Let me check how many records we have. Select count start from contract. Okay. Yeah, if you see here 10,000 records are there. Okay. Let me start the batch. If you see, now records are getting inserted into history table and it's completed in 5 seconds. Okay, 10,000 records completed. So if you see in DB, in contract table there is no record in DB, but in history table there are records with effective. So let me check again. So we will insert the data into the contract table and we will see in contract table first. If you see in contract table now records are there with in progress status. Okay. So let me start the job. Yeah, batch started, and now if you will go to contract table, there is no record because all the data moved from one table, the contract table, to contract history table, and in contract history it is the status is effective.
That's all about this video. Thanks for watching this video. Meet you in the next video with a new concept.